WION's principal diplomatic correspondent Siddhant Sibal also gets us this report from the summit venue on what India's participation at the G7 means for New Delhi and the world. Take a look.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi's second visit to Germany in 2 months has one key focus, the G7 summit. The summit takes place from 26th to 28th of this month in Schloss Elmo in Bavaria, Germany. The summit happens in the backdrop of the Russian invasion of Ukraine, something that will strongly dominate the agenda at the summit.
German Chancellor Olaf Scholz had formally extended an invite to the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi last month. PM Modi was in Berlin for the Intergovernmental Commission meet. This was also his first in-person bilateral with the new German Chancellor. One of the key outcomes was an announcement on establishing the Green and Sustainable Development Partnership between the two countries. This is the fourth time India has been invited or considered for an invitation at the G7 summit since 2019. In 2020, President Donald Trump was keen to invite PM Modi to the G7 outreach summit at Camp David. The summit was to take place in June 2020, but could not happen due to the COVID crisis. Last year, the British Prime Minister Boris Johnson had invited India for the G7 summit, but PM Modi could not travel due to the second wave of COVID in India and other parts of the world. But he did participate virtually. In 2019, the French president had invited India for the G7 Biarritz summit as a goodwill partner.
And hopefully we will be having you as our guest back soon. I invited you as our guest to the G7 summit end of June to Elmo, and we look forward to welcoming you back to Germany. We are ready to continuing and deepening the close cooperation with India on global issues.
But even before the G7, India has been a guest to the Intergovernmental Political Forum, when it used to be a group of 8 nations. Back in 2003, the then Indian Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee was invited by France. It took place in Evian-les-Bains, France. Then from 2005 to 2009, India was regularly invited to the G8, when Prime Minister Manmohan Singh represented India.
This year, India has been invited along with Indonesia, Senegal, South Africa and Argentina. India has been invited in the past, and with each invite, India's position when it comes to inviting the grouping has become indispensable. Now, next year, we will see the G7 summit being hosted in Japan's Hiroshima. And it's given that Tokyo will extend an invite to New Delhi given the special relationship both countries share. With video journalist Ajit Siddhant Sibal for WION in Germany.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.